welcome to Bachatting. And tonight we have with us Zefroon. Thank you.
Hi.
So, Zefroon, what's your story with sensual bachata?
Well, I danced traditional bachata before, and I did some salsa and other styles of dancing, but this is relatively new for me. I only started dancing sensual bachata in the last 3 years, and I kind of ended up in a social that was sensual dancing. It was a little different from how the traditional scene was, and I was like really curious. Everyone looked really beautiful dancing that style, so I started coming to a few drop-in classes, and I picked up my game, and now I socially dance sensual bachata.
Okay. And you also do the Latin ballroom dance, right?
Yes, I do Latin ballroom style dancing, which is quite different. It's been an interesting transformation because in Latin ballroom dancing, the posture is very different and there's lots of like footwork. But I feel like with sensual bachata, it's slower, it's more artsy in a way, and it's less technical, and it's more of a relaxing kind of dance. So like when I do Latin ballroom style dancing, I often feel tired afterwards, but I feel like with sensual bachata, it's like yoga. So it's really soothing.
Do you feel like having the fundamentals in Latin ballroom helps you with sensual bachata or creates obstacles?
That's such a good question. Ooh. Okay, I think it's a bit of both because it's helpful because it's easier to pick up any style when you've done a little bit of the Latin dances that are more strict with form and footwork. You already have some sense of like beats and counts, and it's easier for transitioning into. But one of the obstacles is I think one of the obstacles for me would be the fact that I can't loosen up enough. Like it makes me want to like retain my ballroom posture with the arms and stuff. And yeah, so that can be a little bit of a hindrance, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, dancers always notice like, right, she's a ballroom dancer, or she's a ballroom dancer, I could tell, right? You are originally from Bangladesh,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
What can you say about the sensual bachata scene over there? Is
Well,
it big?
it's new. It's up and rising. There are several classes and socials, but Bangladesh in general is a bit of a conservative society. So it's taking people some time to come to acceptance with being close to a partner, and then this kind of slow dances. Usually traditional Bangladeshi dances are very different. So this is something that's new, and more of the younger people are doing it. But it's something that people find really beautiful anyway.
Who do you dream to dance with?
Maybe Sarah Pinero. I don't know if you know her. She's a good dancer. I kind of enjoy watching her dance. I've sometimes seen her do a female lead, so I think that would be interesting.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so you would be following.
Yes, I'm always following.
All right.
I don't like the stress of like thinking what the next move is.
What is, in your opinion, considered the beginner level? Where do intermediate and advanced levels begin?
I think I'm not best placed to answer where an advanced level begins because I feel like I'm not there yet. With intermediate dancing, I think the steps get a little bit more complex. And then you have a better sense of musicality as a dancer. So when the song reaches a certain point, there's more like styling involved, and I think that really distinguishes a dancer from like beginner to mid-level.
What level in sensual bachata do you think you are?
Oh well, I think right now intermediate stages probably, yeah.
So you do some shines and
Some, not a lot. Yeah, but I think I find myself stealing shines from other types of dances. like from the other
That's how you
ballroom
do it,
styles.
right?
Exactly, and a little bit of salsa in there.
Okay. Dance heels or sneakers for social dancing?
It really depends on the outfit and the vibe of this scene. I think if it's a bit casual, then sneakers are fine. They're more comfortable. And for bachata, I think because you can wear sneakers, it's foolish not to. Your feet thank you later. And with, for instance, salsa, I would never like wear sneakers to that. So that's not sensible. But with bachata, I think I'd pick sneakers. Yeah.
How many hours straight do you think you can wear dance heels until you totally have to take them off?
I think I have measured this, so that would be 5 hours. But I would take it off in between few dances just to let my feet breathe.
5 hours. That was the max.
Yeah, I think it's like a whole day of competition when you do like round after round, and then in between like you're eating your lunch and then you're taking like shoes off for just a second and then it goes on. So yeah. I actually like practice being on my toes all the time, like in the gym and stuff. Like it's almost like I'm wearing invisible heels. I think it helps to like stay that way for a while.
Do you compete a lot?
No, not really. I think my first competition was really good. It left me with some titles that I won, but like I did not enjoy the experience of being super stressed about like what the outcome of it. So I think like it's much nicer to dance in social scenes than compete. It's more of a relaxing leisure activity, good for the mind. Whereas the other thing is like, oh my god, I'm thinking about dancing all the time. What am I gonna wear? Like, am I gonna show up on time? And it's just too stressful.
Sounds very stressful.
Yes,
So why do you even compete? What's the joy?
I think it's the adrenaline like that's involved. It's almost like playing a sport where you like the pressure to a certain extent, and you really test yourself. Like, what is my like point of like falling apart, like to what extent can I like, you know, tolerate
That's
this
a
and
good
stuff.
definition.
It really like builds character, and it's also like nice to see yourself as a performer slash like somebody who other people are watching sometimes, because in the social dance scene we're always dancing and like we are not really presenting anything for a crowd per se, but like with competitions, with showcases, you get to like, you know, highlight a little bit of like what your style is, and people can tell your personality. It's nice.
Would you change anything in our community?
I think sometimes there can be tensions between different dance families, to say, or like classes or groups. I think overall the art is benefited if everyone's like working with each other and just doing it for the dancing instead of like commerce related reasons. Maybe that's something that could be something that would be beneficial overall if the approach was a little bit different. But I also understand like for people who are doing this professionally, they do have to survive. It's survival of the fittest. It's a free market, so it makes sense that there is a healthy competition.
Right. So in the survey, you mentioned that you have 2 birthdays. Let's discuss that.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm a Virgo either way. It's the 13th and the 14th of September, so
Were you born twice?
no,
How can you
but
have 2
long story
birthdays?
short is my mom had a complicated birth, so she like went into labor on the 13th. She came out on the 14th with me, but they thought I was dead for a while. So like the doctor had to like, I wasn't breathing, and then so they spanked me, made me cry. I started breathing. Should I close my eyes?
Sure.
Ooh. This is really useful.
Yeah.
You change hands. It's a hand sanitizer. Very nice, very nice. I have been meaning to buy one. So now I don't need to anymore.
You manifested that.
Yes, exactly.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you so much. Thank you for having me.